Hello, this is Dr. Young. I'm going to go over your week 2 assignment. Actually, you have more than one, I believe. And I apologize in advance. I'm sick, so I'm going to sound kind of funny. Not very enthusiastic, probably. Sorry. But I don't know what it is, but I've got something. So, not fun. Okay, so here's your assignments for this week. You've got a discussion, a quiz, and a case study. And so for your discussion, we're going to talk about training needs analysis. So when you want to research that, you want to say, tell me why it's important, and see if you can find examples of successes using the training needs analysis or failures from your work experience. So kind of think about back, or someone else's. I don't really care if it's yours or someone else's, as long as you can speak to the topic is fine. Some people do that sometimes if they can't think of something in their own. If you can actually research something about it, an example that was successful, or why a situation where one was not done and it caused problems, that's fine as well. I'm not real picky about that, as long as I can see an actual some kind of example is what I'm looking for. Sometimes it's not easy to find what you need in real life or previous experience, so that's fine, whatever. I'm not really worried about it. Okay, where it comes from, as long as it's legitimate and an actual example of success or failure. So hopefully that helps, gives you a little bit more broad, whoops, don't want that one, broad, resources to draw from. So your case study is Rick's New Jobs on page 98 to 100. Answer questions 1, 2, and 4 on page 100 in essay format. Use APA style. Minimum of 850 words, maximum of 1,500 words. I'll tell you what, I mean, I'm looking for certain things that you're going to address in your papers, and some people say it more succinctly than others, and that's fine. I don't care. I do not like it. I don't want you to give me, you're not going to be able to cover this in like 250 words or whatever. And some people are wordier than others, and they go into more detail, and that's fine too. This is a pretty decent range, and I mean, I'd say that the minimum length is what I'm more concerned of than the maximum. So just know that. You need references, citations, you need to have sources. If you give me a paper without sources, that's going to affect your grade probably, because you need to obviously draw from your text here, and you also need to be using outside sources to support your papers. Those are the best papers. Those get the most points. So I will be looking for outside sources for your papers. And you definitely need to cite your text if you're using it at all for ideas or anything. So overall, I think the first week, I just graded it, the first paper and first discussion, pretty good. Whenever you're writing a paper, you do kind of need an introduction and a conclusion. I know you're answering questions, but you want to kind of tie the paper together. You want to, it needs to be, the questions need to be answered thoroughly, but the paper needs a good flow, so you need an intro and a conclusion there. We do follow APA format. I don't know if I already went over this, but I usually do a couple of times anyway during the term. APA style, this is a great resource. The OWL at Purdue, the Writing Lab, I highly recommend it. This is pretty much tells you everything you need to know about APA. It has a sample paper, it has a template, it has templates for each type of reference, and it also has examples. So it's very detailed. I would use it. Otherwise, and here's a plagiarism blurb, so just make sure that you're using your own words. Excuse me, I apologize. I'm going to be sniffly a little bit. Let's see, in your quiz. So let's take a look at that. 15 questions worth 90 points. It's available until May 12th. So make sure to get that completed. Oh, wait a minute. 90 points, not 90 minutes. Did I say that? 40 minutes, 90 points. Questions are 15. My apologies. It covers the material from weeks 1 and 2. So make sure to get this done because you can't make these up. Quizzes cannot be made up unless you have some kind of extenuating circumstance you're going to tell me about and have documentation for. But quizzes are due when they're due. Discussions can't be made up either because they're participation grades. I mean, you have to do them in the week that they're due. Papers, maybe, but you have to contact me about why they're late first. You know, I know life things happen in life. I don't like it when I don't hear from a student and then they just submit something late, expecting me to grade it. So please contact me first. Because I don't usually grade anything that's there unless I've been contacted about it. And then I make a decision as to whether I'll accept it or not. So just please don't do that because you're wasting your time if you don't contact me. And, you know, there's many reasons why you might miss a paper. But I will just go ahead and give you some suggestions. Focus on the discussions because they can't be made up. If you have to choose, quizzes, discussions first, and then if there's something major, you know, that has extenuating circumstances cause you to get behind on the assignments, contact me. But understand that I may or may not ask for documentation. So if it's because you work too late or something like that, I'm probably not going to let you make it up because you have to make time for the class. Just like everybody else does. So, you know, but again, things happen that are, you know, beyond your control. That's what you need to just communicate with me is all I'm asking. If you would do that, it just makes everything easier. Otherwise, that's about it. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know and have a great week.